Hello, Pacific League fans and fans-to-be. I'm Jimbo Bernicki, the newest member of the Pacific League team, and welcome to this year's edition of Making the Pitch. I interviewed some of the most die-hard fans of the Anglosphere from each of the Pacific League franchises and spoke with them about their experiences as fans in the world of Japanese baseball, all in an effort to help convince you to join their side. Welcome to Making the Pitch 2023. My guest today is Brazilian baseball superfan NPB Gaijin, who was gracious enough to speak with me about his love for the Pacific League's preeminent juggernaut, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. My Portuguese skills are quite poor to say the least, so I just want to take a moment to say how thankful and appreciative I am that he was kind enough to do today's interview in English. Let's take a listen.
I started watching in 2019, but I basically only watched from mid to end of the 2019 season. But yeah, it's been since 2019, but my first full season was 2020.
Okay, cool. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, because in 2020 the COVID hit for the first time, right? So I
Yeah.
had to wait even more to watch because they postponed until the season actually started.
Yeah, it's really brutal. But so what did you think of last season for the Hawks?
That was not a good season. It was better than 2021. I mean, because that team really underperformed in 2021. But I didn't like what I saw last season. The team was we were this close to win Pacific League, but we blew the two last games and we had to face Oryx with Oryx winning by one, so we had stand no chance against them.
It's really
Yeah,
funny to hear you it's so interesting the different fan bases like the Hawks fans have such a level of expectation how you guys still made the playoffs and you're like,
yeah,
nope, that sucked.
yeah. Sometimes I get messages on Twitter saying like, your team's so good and you are always competing for a playoff spot or for the pennant. So why are you complaining? And that's what basically what you said. We have a high expectation, so
Yeah, exactly. But so despite you guys not winning the playoffs last year, what was your favorite moment of the season for the Hawks?
I have to think a little bit because they had a lot of bad moments. Yanagita's grand slam against Yoshinobu Yamamoto was a
Yeah,
pretty fun moment.
that's pretty
That
good.
was amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty solid favorite moment. And so, you mentioned you started watching around 2019. How did you become a fan of Japanese baseball? Like, what was it that brought you to the league and to the Hawks?
I used to watch this anime called Diamond no Ace, and one of the main characters is Milk Kazuya, who's a catcher. And since I was a fan of the character and catcher is my favorite position, I became really curious about Japanese catchers and wanted to know if he was based on a real life character. So I started searching and I found this article about Kai winning the MVP in the 2018 Nihon Series when he set the Nihon Series record by carding six consecutive stealing.
And so, all that being said, do you have any predictions for this season for the Hawks?
Yeah, Nihon Series. There is no other thing. We gotta win.
Yeah, I mean, independent of, I'm not a fan of the Hawks, but I think they can make a really good run. They really they had a great job in the offseason when they picked up Osuna and
Yeah.
the like they're gonna be a tough team to beat as usual, like every other year, right?
Yeah, in terms of talent, the team is even better than last season, but not only talent. I think the mentality this season is different. Take Yanagira as an example. He declined the invitation to play for Samurai Japan, to focus on Hawks. So
Wow.
that shows how committed he is with this season.
So now it's time for the most important question, the focal point of it all, the reason we are here today. Why should new MPB fans support your time? It's time for you to make the pitch.
If you wanna root for the Hawks, you gotta have in mind that people will talk a lot of shit to you, you know, especially if they're playing well. So have that in mind. But if you wanna root for a team with one of the greatest baseball players ever, you gotta pick the Hawks. Watching Yanagita day in day out is amazing. It's one of the coolest things about the Hawks.
Yeah, for sure. And something I also really respect about them is that they're, in my mind, I think they're probably the best run organization in all of NPB, not just the Pacific League, but like their how deep their minor
Of
league system is, how
yeah,
committed they are to young player development and keeping their players all in the club. It's really impressive. And the results are the results, right? Like I think, why
for
to be a
sure.
fan of the Hawks? They're the best team. Like what do you mean? Like it's pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
if you take the Giants as an example, they are always sign the best free agents, but they can win anything, you know.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
not just about the money. Of
Hmm.
course, Hawks have money and they sign Kondo and Ozuna, but that's not about the money, you know. The foundations of the organization is what makes Hawks the best, not just money.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. So there you have it to all the new listeners out there. I mean, if you want to support a team that's got a great minor league system and a great, main club, as long as you can deal with people saying, "Oh, you're a front runner, you like the best team," as long as you can deal with that smoke, the Hawks are a great pick.
And with that, I'd like to extend a very special and warm thank you to today's guest, MPB Gaijin, and a friendly reminder as always to check out the rest of our content on Pacific League TV. As always in YouTube land, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on PLTV. Take care.